Well, it is the secret to a lush and beautiful garden, good compost. You might have seen those costly buckets and barrels for composting, but our expert gardener says you can get started today without spending a cent.
I like that. Our Dave Gonzalez goes into the garden and gets a breakdown of the basics for the ultimate compost.
We are talking about composting today, and who better to tell us all about it? Nick Federoff, Things Green.
Hey, how you
see
doing?
you, Nick.
Yeah, thanks.
We're going to get dirty here today.
We are sure. When we're in the garden, we have to get our dirty because, as you know, it's a dirt is what is underneath your fingertips, and soil is what plants grow in. So we're going to grow some stuff, and what better way to grow things than by fortifying it with our own compost and mulch. Sometimes we use them as the same word. Mulch is something that we lay on top of the ground, and compost is something that we put and we mix with the soil. But regardless, we want to make sure that we can actually make our own golden compost just like this.
That's beautiful.
Oh, let me tell you. And you can put things like different manures in there. I'm not a big fan of manures because it really takes in and puts a lot of salt into the soils.
You know, I have horses, and a lot of my friends ask me about horse manure, whether it's good, and I don't know.
You know what? If we take it through this composting process, then I'm okay with it. But if you're using green manures, whether it's from a cow, steer, rabbit, chicken, or horses, it's actually going to draw the nutrients out of the soil. That's the last thing that we want.
So compost it first.
Yeah, but there are a lot of elements that we need and some that we don't. One of the ones that we don't need, or we have to stay away from, are any kind of animal meats, meat byproducts, bones, blood. Stay away from those things. I know they're available in your kitchen, but you got to stay away from that. What we really want is this beautiful grass. I mean, just look at this. And if it's green and you throw it just on there on your planter beds, it's going to actually slurp up the nutrients. We don't want
dry,
that. We want it dry. We could put it in our compost pile green, and it'll change. Right. And then of course we have our leaves. You have plenty of leaves, and then any kind of branches. And then what we're going to do is that we have to break it down. The bigger the pieces, the tougher it is. So if we were to fire up this thing right here, our chipper,
little chipper,
you would take it, you slam it right in there. It's going to spit it out in small pieces, and that right there is what's necessary for breaking the compost down much faster. The bigger the piece, the slower your compost. That's why your horse manure is going to take a little bit longer for it to work.
So this would be a good investment if you're looking to do a lot of composting.
Yeah, or you know what? You can get your cheap and cheesy little $40 electric ones, and you could throw newspaper through there. You could put all these clippings through there. You got to chop it down. What you got to do now? You have to ask yourself, do we want to get one of these compost tumblers and spend a lot of money doing that, or do we just want to throw it on the ground and make some compost?
There you go.
Well, if we have the room, we can do that. And if you want something that's kind of fun to do, we can come over here and we can actually put it inside a couple of pallets like this. This is just to contain it. That's all it is. And what we can do, in fact, let's just start doing it right now, Dave. We need the elements. Take that.
Oh, thanks a lot.
I don't want to get my hands dirty.
So all we would do is just throw it in there.
Just throw it in there just like that. That's perfect. And then you're going to layer it.
Which means I'm going to throw something else in there.
Yes. Now what you want to do is take your leaves. Now throw some leaves in there.
Okay.
That's it. You know, you're a regular farmer. I'll tell you. I like that.
I feel like I'm doing somebody else's dirty work here.
Well, you actually are. And then, so once you have that all down there, what I would suggest doing is get a shovelful of soil out of your planter beds. You throw a little bit of soil in there because there's bacteria that's in there and little beasties that is going to help break it down. And then what you want to do is you want to make sure that you turn it every so often. Now, if you turn it every single day, it's going to break down faster. It should take you about 14 days to break it down. So that's all you gotta do is just turn it like that, keep it moist. We use the pallets to contain it. You could put a door on the front, and then because the pallets have the air, between the air and the turning and the water and all that, this is gonna turn so beautiful. Oh, it's going to be so rich and enhanced.
Now, I've also seen the containers that you can buy specifically for this.
Yeah. Those are called tumblers. Those are tumblers, and you can use those as well. They start anywhere from $99 all the way up to $300, $400, $500.
And how long do I have to keep my stuff in there to come up with a good compost?
Typically, it's about 14 days if you're doing it right. But if you're a little bit lazy and you don't want to do the whole process of the turning and the spinning and all that, then you're probably looking more like 30 days plus.
Okay, so every 30 days I can come up with a pile of compost?
Oh, indeed. Yeah, and it's always best to have at least a couple of these going instead of just one, because you'll be turning and working, and then you can put some new fresh stuff in this one, and then you turn and work, and then it goes back and forth.
Okay.
So it works out really nice.
Everything you ever needed to know about compost.
And come down to thingsgreen.com, and we'll make sure we have the information for you on there.
Very good. Thank you, Nick.
Indeed.